Lord God, we just come to you tonight just asking that your will be done, Lord, and we just want to say thank you for blessing our community and the beautiful area we get to live in. Asking your name, amen.
Amen. Call to order, City Council meeting, October 20th, 2022. Melissa, will you lead us in the pledge?
Yes. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Miss Nancy, will you call roll?
Chris Foster,
Here.
Lewis Short,
Here.
Lane Tubbs, Jim Adams,
Here.
Melissa Choate,
here.
Allie Sugg, James Lay,
Here.
Sharon Williams,
Here.
Rebecca Prince,
Here.
the press, and Mayor Griffin.
Here. Let the record show we have a quorum. Okay, first I need a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from September 15th, 2022 City Council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Nancy?
Melissa Choate,
Yes.
Jim Lay,
Yes.
Sharon Williams,
Yes.
Jim Adams,
Yes.
Lewis Short,
Abstain?
Chris Foster.
Yes.
Motion carried. Approve payments journals from September 1st to September 30th, 2022.
Make a motion to accept?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Nancy?
Sharon Williams,
Yes.
Yes.
James Lay,
Yes.
Melissa Choate,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Lewis Short,
Yes.
Jim Adams.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, I need approval of street fund financial statement, sanitation, general fund, community center O&M, and miscellaneous funds dated September 30th, 2022.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Nancy?
Jim Adams,
Yes.
Lewis Short,
Yes.
Sharon Williams,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Melissa Choate,
Yes.
James Lay.
Yes.
Motion carried. A quick update, we have received 2 RFPs, requests for proposals for the yard waste. So now all we have to do is negotiate a contract. And those were sent to you guys. Okay, unfinished business. Mr. Jason Harple is here to give us an update on Spring Park and Sandy Beach. Jason, will you come up to the podium?
How are y'all tonight?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Spring Park, we talked with Mayor Casey, we were gonna push that back, to start after the festival this weekend, coming up with Halloween, so we're looking at a November 1st start for that. The turf requires a 50% deposit down. We submitted for that payment. Once received, we'll order the turf. It's typically gonna be 8 to 12 weeks to get it, so we're looking sometime mid-December before the turf will actually be delivered to the site. But we'll be working on fixing the fencing, getting things like that ready, getting the dirt work ready, getting a lot of stuff ready for the turf. The Omni Spinner is another object, one of the little rides. They're saying late January before that comes in. So we're gonna try to push that, see if we can get it a little quicker, but right now they're holding firm to that. So that's Spring Park in a nutshell. It's, it's ready to go. The work order's been signed. We're ready to start ordering and proceed with that
And that-
November 1st.
That ride, is that the thing we already talked about where you can put the base in now and kind of make it safe or whatever?
Yes, sir. We're going to try to get the base so we can go ahead, because you have to put it in before you install the turf.
Right.
So we want to get the base in, they can lay the turf, and then the fixture actually sets down on it and bolts to it. So that's what we're hoping we can do. So that's entirely up to the manufacturer, obviously. If we can get that approved, they'll do it, then we can, piece it out and get it here to where we can move forward. Any questions on Spring Park? Okay. Sandy Beach, we have a work order that we completed today for that. I will get that to the mayor for her approval. We have a guaranteed max price on it set. Nick has everything going. He's working with the health department right now to try to get that approved through the health department, because we do have sewer for the new bathrooms and all that. So that one is pretty much ready. We get the work order signed and we get the health department approval, we can proceed with work on it. We're expecting it to take, 5 to 6 months, because you're dealing with sewer and digging and no telling what kind of rock we're going to hit when we start digging. So the actual little building won't take very long, but it's just getting all the infrastructure in for that. And I think that's the updates on those two projects.
Excuse, I might have misunderstood. Did you tell us an end date, kind of an approximate for Spring Park? Did you guys have an idea of completion for it?
Well, I think our work order said 45 days from the time we start. Lead times obviously are going to play a factor in
Right.
that. Being wintertime could play a small factor. I don't see it being a significant holdback. So we're hoping by, the 1st of February, once everything gets here, that we're done. We're out of there. And it could be sooner if we can get the stuff here quicker. So logistics is an issue these days, so.
Yes.
Do you have any more questions for Jason? Thank you for coming tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, new business. We have to approve the architect invoice. This will be taken out of the ARPA account, but because those funds have not been allocated to something specifically yet, we have to approve this invoice for the architect for the main building. And it's for $7,700. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Nancy?
Jim Adams,
Yes.
Sharon Williams,
Yes.
James Lay,
Yes.
Melissa Cho,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Louis Short.
Yes.
Motion carried. And then next, I need approval on fire equipment because it's over 10,000. Did you get that? David, do you remember the total on that?
It's written on in the red.
$11,124
$11,124? Thank you.
and 85 cents.
And 85 cents. Okay. I just need a motion to pay that purchase order.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Ms. Nancy?
Melissa Cho,
Yes.
Chris Foster,
Yes.
Louis Short,
Yes.
Jim Adams,
Yes.
Sharon Williams,
Yes.
James Lay.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have an encroachment on Rose Ridge. This is the same type of thing that we've been dealing with, that we've grandfathered in, these setbacks. Doug, do you want to elaborate on this one, since it also carries into our next item?
Nothing out of the ordinary that we haven't already covered. Edge of the house was built prior to 2000, so before us, but when they went back, they're trying to sell the house, and it is 5 feet inside of the setback, on the side, on the street side. And they're just trying to clear that up so it can be sold.
So I just need a motion to,
Approve the setback
yeah,
variance.
approve the setback variance.
I'll move we approve the setback. We're not gonna run out of that. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Since they
we'll
got
keep having them.
global positioning.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Miss Nancy?
Just a second.
I don't believe that it's not a variance. It is just acknowledgement of encroachment.
Okay.
Jim Adams?
Yes.
Sharon Williams?
Yes.
James Lay?
Yes.
Melissa Choate?
Yes.
I don't need a pen, I got it.
Chris Foster?
Yes.
Louis Short?
Yes.
Motion carried. The next one is the variance.
The exception to
The
the
exception,
setback.
it's not a variance, it's an exception to a bill of assurance.
Gotcha.
Right,
We
and,
have the city owns 3 lots in Ridgefield, and this house that y'all just approved the
encroachment?
encroachment letter on is in violation of their bill of assurance. They have petitioned the neighborhood or the subdivision to accept the offer of, allow the house to continue to be where it's at. And because we have 3 lots, we've already approved the encroachment, then we just need to autograph the letter or the petition stating we don't have a problem, because they need that for the bill of assurance to also go with the sale.
Have they already collected the necessary signatures?
I cannot answer that question. The real estate lady told me. I do know that Cynthia Herron has gone around to the neighborhood, so I believe they have gathered.
But you need us to take this step first, the council to
Yes,
take
we
this step
have 3
first.
lots in there, so that's 3,
Votes.
basically 3 signatures to go along with what they've got.
Nope.
And in that, the cover sheet was the lots. There's 2 side by side, I think one up the hill just a little bit.
Yeah, lots 21, 29, and 30 in Ridgefield Phase 1.
And the only reason we have those 2 lots is that is the that's the back side of the RPC for the airport.
Right.
I'll make a motion, we approve the exception variance as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Clear as mud? Miss Nancy?
Sharon Williams?
Yes.
James Lay?
Yes.
Chris Foster?
Yes.
Louis Short?
Yes.
Melissa Choate?
Yes.
Jim Adams?
Yes.
Motion carried. No, he couldn't be here tonight. Okay, next item is the DOJ grant, the Department of Justice. The police department got a notification to apply for this grant, and it was due they only had 2 weeks to fill it out, so I said, go ahead and do it. So really, I'm asking for a little bit of forgiveness. However, it doesn't cost the city anything. And it was for PPE and some laptops and some equipment, so hopefully we'll hear back soon if we get granted.
So it's 100% funded by the grant?
It is.
And what was the price on it, Doug?
The total came out to about 83,000. is what we applied for.
$74,083. Wait.
No,
It-
I was
it
gonna
was
say
around 80,000.
70, but it's around 80,
80.
83.
So what kind of motion do you need? Forgiveness?
Forgiveness?
I
Just,
mo-
just approve
I
the
just move that we
application.
approve the grant application.
Thank you.
Second.
I don't think y'all have a problem with it since it wasn't gonna cost us anything. Any discussion on that?
I did. I'm second.
Thank you,
Is
Mr.
that what
Chair.
you said? That's what you said.
You're okay.
Nancy?
I need to quit talking and listen.
Okay. Jim Adams?
Yes.
Melissa Choate?
Yes.
James Lay?
Yes.
Sharon Williams?
Yes.
Chris Foster?
Yes.
Louis Short?
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have Ms. Glenda Zerka that wanted to be put on the agenda to address the council tonight. Ms. Glenda, would you come up to the podium?
Thanks.
How are you tonight?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
I love this town. When we moved here, there was a little candy shop or a cookie shop all downtown, and we just happened to stop by on our way home from church at a Christmas parade. And I told my husband we moved into the middle of a Hallmark Christmas movie. This was just the best little town. And it is. But I am asking for a city ban on pit bulls. I'd like to ask for Rottweilers and German Shepherds, but definitely the pit bulls.
Okay, what are your concerns?
Well, they're the number one aggressive dog. There are more people killed by pit bulls than any other. I have neighbors that have pit bulls, and then they're rescue pit bulls. We don't know any history on them. And my granddaughter is in the yard. I said this wasn't personal, but it is personal. I personally held a baby that was mauled by a pit bull. He was 2 years old. I personally looked out my window and saw a pit bull attack another dog, and I ran out the house to get my son and bring him in. My neighbors at that time also rescued pit bulls, and they would climb. They'd say, "I don't know how they got on your front porch. They're in a chain link fence." And I watched them climb the chain link fence. And I'd have to tell my son, "Stay in the car, don't get out no matter what happens," till they are bred for aggression. They're bred to hold bulls and to hold bears in a pit. They were bred in the 1800s. AKC doesn't even recognize them as a dog, as a breed. They're aggressive. It's genetic. You say it's how they're raised,
Yes, ma'am.
but I don't agree with that. I mean, genetically, they were bred for fighting. Like a German Shepherd has hip problems. It was bred into them. A herder nips heels. It's bred into them. And pit bulls are just bred to, they don't bite like a Cocker Spaniel or a Dachshund. They clamp down and hold. They're there to hold an animal. And so I want them back. I want to be able to let my little girl be in the yard and not have to go in the house because the pit bulls are out.
Do your current neighbors have the pit bulls?
Yes, they do.
Well, we do have a vicious dog ordinance.
I read it. It's a good one. Here's Batesville's if you want a copy of theirs. There are 33, maybe 30, but I think 33 cities in the state of Arkansas that ban pit bulls because they are aggressive dogs. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, and German Shepherds attack people. That's what they do. Pit bulls are not even, I love the Canine Society. We've contributed to it. Canine for Warriors. They won't even take pit bulls because it's in their DNA to attack. Did you know October the 6th, I think it was, there was a mother in Shelby County, Tennessee that lost her 2-year-old daughter and her 5-month-old son. She ended up in the critical care unit. 2 family pit bulls, never shown any aggression. That's what pit bulls are. They don't show, you don't know ahead of time. Something in them snaps. every pit bull that attacks, they were always good until they weren't. So,
So I want to clarify, the 2-year-old you saw mauled, was that here in Heber Springs?
it was in Pocahontas, Arkansas. I worked at the hospital, and I heard doctor to the ER stat. I walked around the corner, and this man, he was petrified. He just laid that baby in my arms. And out of all of the horror things I've seen in a hospital, that topped them all. It ate the lacrimal duct, the tear duct. It swallowed part of that baby's cheek. It was awful.
Well, I've been on the council long enough, and I think maybe Chris and Sharon for sure, that we've crossed this bridge more than once. And that's why we have such a good vicious dog ordinance as we've been here. You're not the first one, and obviously won't be the last, I'm sure. But previously, the issues we've had is where do we stop?
What preemptive measure do you have? It's a vicious dog law, and they have to show aggression. They have to be vicious. You don't have anything preemptive.
Yes, I agree, pit bulls are notorious for their attacks. But I have a small dog. It attacks my big dogs more than anything else.
And
So,
it bites them, it nips them, it doesn't bite and hold. They don't.
So to say that that pit bull or a pit bull is going to attack, there have been dogs, people hurt here in town. I don't know, I wish Dalen was here to give us
That's
some
right,
stats.
that's right. My
But-
friend was attacked by a German Shepherd. There are a
I'm
lot.
not talking about a big dog, I'm talking
Little dog.
even small dogs. Any dog that is, however they're brought up, is gonna do, they can do something. So pinpointing it to a pit bull or a Rottweiler or German Shepherd, that's what we've, like I said, we've crossed this bridge before.
Which one kills, though?
I don't have those stats in front of me.
I do.
Awesome.
60% of them are pit bulls, 70% Rottweilers, and 44% German Shepherds.
So
Those
if the-
numbers don't add up, 60, 70, and 44.
Pit bulls were responsible for the vast majority of the fatalities associated with dogs from 2010 to 2021. There were 430 fatal dog bites, with 185 of those coming from pit bulls, another 41 that were pit bull mixes. You can, and here are the copy of the Batesville ordinance, if you want. I made copies for y'all if you want them.
Happy to look at that.
Okay.
Well, I have 2 pit bulls myself, and I have never had any trouble. And it's, that's just a freak thing. I mean, it could be any dog.
It is a freak thing, but it happens with the pit bulls.
Well, because they're big and they're
Okay, something you
strong.
may not know, but
Okay,
it's on record.
all right.
A Pomeranian killed a 2-month-old baby.
I did not know
The father left it on the bed,
Thank you.
went to get a bottle. When he came back, the Pomeranian had mauled the kid and killed it.
that. Was that here?
2-month-old baby. So
That's awful.
there's not a dog that exists that can't kill a 2-month-old baby.
Or cats, I've
Failed
heard.
to mention Doberman Pinschers.
Dobermans were on that list of
Okay.
aggressive dogs.
Well, we used, when I was in the Army MPs, we used German Shepherds. The Japanese Self-Defense Force, where I was stationed, they had, their payroll was escorted by Japanese Shepherds and a boxer. The boxer got a pretty good personality, but I don't, it sounds to me like you got irresponsible dog owners. Plus, you've got dogs that probably need to be taken care of one way or another, either put up or put down.
I agree, and a lot of it I do believe is the owner. You know, pits were bred for fighting, and if you fight them, they're going to fight. But the ones that are gentle and have never shown any aggression, they'll say it's snapped. There was a vet in Pocahontas who put over 850 stitches in a horse that a pit bull attacked, and he started to put the horse down. The dog had never shown any sign of aggression. They're like first-time event things with them. I don't know why it is. It's a genetic trait, like German Shepherds. Genetically, they have bad hips.
Well, I had a German Shepherd one time, had been to 8 different obedience schools, and he wasn't gonna bite anything. He was trained not to,
Right.
unless you
Someone.
told him to, and he'd obey a command.
Well, see,
He
that's
weighed
why they use.
147 pounds, so, but he never bit anything other than another dog that came on his property. Stan Lewis Lee had a big boxer. He wandered onto my aunt's yard. My dog pretty much took care of it, because the next time he went by, he scraped the paint off the house across the street looking up there. We had a leash law. Some people decided as long as the dog was under the verbal command of the owner or a responsible person.
Well,
I
my
disagree
neighbors.
I disagree with that, but that's the way the majority ruled.
My neighbor who has 2 pits, and the one she just got, one of them is old, and I don't think he's never shown any problem. When I stay away from him, he stays away from me. The new one that they just got as a rescue, he's stronger, he's younger, he scares me. There's something about that dog that just scares me. And she walks him on a leash. She can't be 90 pounds, you think? If one of those dogs wanted to get away from her, it easily could. And she walks him through our yards.
Have you spoken with your neighbor about it to discuss your fears with this?
I don't talk to her much. I should. I did the one in Pocahontas. It got me nowhere.
I understand your concerns and totally empathize with your situation. I'm just a little hesitant to blanket rule that in a free society, in a free city, well, obviously there are laws and rules, but to kind of go down this path initially, because and I understand your fear, and I totally get it. I get your data. It's just if you don't get anywhere with your neighbor chatting and maybe putting up a fence or doing whatever, I could see going something like this, or if there was an attack or a recent attack at the pit bull.
It's going to take that.
Yeah.
It's going to take another attack or death before anything gets done, is what you're saying, isn't it?
You might have animal control have a talk with the dog owner, and let animal control make him aware of the situation he put himself in if the dog doesn't behave.
Well, they keep it on a deck next to, our deck, and they have a gate, a little gate. Well, that dog can go over that gate anytime it wants to.
Do they have a fence?
No. Well,
They
they
lock
do.
the
They have a
gate.
fenced area, but they don't keep the pit on the fence. One of them they keep in the house, the old one, and that new young one, it's been pretty weather, and they've just had, I guess, he likes it there. They keep him on that back deck.
Is he on a tether or anything?
No, he's not.
Have you had any dealings with the dog personally, or you're just scared of him?
I don't like, my personal issues were from holding that bloody baby, from watching that dog attack, from having those unknown pit bulls on my front porch when I was trying to get my son in the house at night. I don't like them. I don't trust them. I like them. I love dogs. I had a kennel one time. I love dogs. I don't like pit bulls. I don't trust pit bulls. They're bred to attack.
Well, the current ordinance, I believe, says that the,
Animals at large.
what,
Yeah, the animal at large, like they can't be.
they have to be under
Under the
the control of a responsible person. And so if they are in a fenced-in enclosure or they are outside on a leash, our that's compliant with the law.
That's
If
right.
they are in an open area without adult supervision, so is this deck, is it fenced in?
Yes, I guess it is.
Okay.
It's a porched
Okay.
area.
Yeah, so if it were not fenced in, then absolutely animal control, that's something that they could address.
And I understand your trauma. I mean, I'm terrified of German Shepherds, but people love them. And, you know, I don't, if the dog isn't causing a problem, I don't see how you can just label one breed.
Okay. Yeah, statistically, you can label it. I mean, because it's the one that kills the most people in the United States.
Well, Ms. Linda will look at this ordinance, and thank you for coming and addressing your concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have open mic. Would anyone else like to address the council?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Paula Sporn. I have a question about the limbs and leaves right now,
Yes, ma'am.
that you are no longer picking them up.
Correct.
What recourse do we have? What
Um,
can we do with them?
When the burn ban is lifted, you're welcome to burn them. We are working on a solution. Like I said earlier, we took requests for proposals for contractors to come in.
Whoa.
Oh, goodness.
Goodness.
You okay?
You're strong.
Are you
Strong.
okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, all right.
For a contractor to come in and do this service for us.
Okay, so it might be temporary?
Well, we hope it's temporary,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes, the.
No, not the burning, but maybe a
suspended-
contract with somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, the contract hopefully will be for 5 years, but hopefully the suspension will be temporary.
Okay,
Yes.
because
I know it's a
a lot of
terrible.
people have the same question and.
Yeah, well, and it's
just need a
a terrible time of
clarification.
year, but we can't perform the service in a manner which is compliant with ADEQ, nor do we have the proper manpower and equipment to do it efficiently. So that's why we're trying to find someone to do it for us.
Okay, so when the burn ban is lifted, we can burn?
Correct.
Do we have to notify the fire department that we are burning?
It would be great if you could notify dispatch, just to let them know.
Okay,
So that if someone does call in, then they can say that they've been notified.
okay,
And it has to, you still have to be with the fire, right, Doug, at all times? You can't,
Yeah, gotta babysit it.
okay, thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
Want me
Yes,
to fix
sir.
that?
No, you're
It's fine.
Well, next speaker may be a midget.
it's fine. Thank you.
It's on the same topic.
Yes, sir.
I'm a little hard of hearing, so I may not have heard it. Is there a time frame that you're looking at as far as getting a contractor to?
We
take
just
it? And the reason I'm asking is I've done lawn properties here in Heber Springs for 25 years.
Yes, sir.
And it can be a big issue. I mean,
I understand.
we did a lawn cleanup today that the lady doesn't have any lawns, it's just leaves, and she asked us to, bring
Leaves or
them out
pine
to the
needles.
street, and then we
Mhm.
understand that they're not picking those up. But if you were, even if you're there and you set those things afire, the smoke's gonna cover the neighborhood. So my question is, do you have a time frame that you're looking at hiring us up to do this kind of cleanup?
We just got the RFPs in this week, and so I have to go to the contractor now and discuss a contract to work it out.
Okay?
did you take those leaves and pine needles with you when you left the property?
No.
See, by city ordinance, you have to do that as well.
Yeah, if a contractor comes in to do the yard, they're supposed to take that stuff with them. The city shouldn't have been responsible to pick that up if it was provided by another service.
Well, most of what was already out of the street is stuff that she's taken out there. And the neighbor explained to her that they're not, told her that they're not picking them up any longer and everything. But I could just see Heber Spring looking like
Well,
Gehenna.
and This did not,
Well-
this was not an easy decision. And
Yeah.
It was kind of, our hand was forced, actually. I mean,
Right.
we've been dealing with this for
A long
years.
time.
Trying to figure out a solution, and, the old mulch pile used to be behind the cemetery, and
Right.
that spontaneously combusted, and we got in trouble by the ADQ at that point.
Yeah, it's full, we just can't take anymore, because we can't do anything with it. Once it leaves your yard, once the city picks it up, it becomes a solid waste problem. And then it turns into an ADQ issue.
So the contractor, whoever gets this contract to take care of this, is going to have to dispose of those someplace besides,
Correct,
okay,
yes.
all right.
But
Yeah.
individual contractors who are contracting for cleanup are required by city ordinance to take that with them. So if my neighbor who's my lawn guy cleans up my property, there's a requirement that he take that with him and
Yeah.
not leave it for the city.
Well, we do most of the time. Most of ours is out on Eden Isle, and they have a contractor out there now taking care of that. So that's similar to what you're looking at?
Correct.
Something,
Yes, sir.
situation like that. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Anybody else? Did that help everybody? Okay. Announcements, as of November 1st, the Waste Connections Recycle Center will no longer take plastic, so they will only be taking corrugated cardboard. We have an opening on our Planning and Zoning Commission. If you know anyone that's interested, please reach out to Doug. Our next budget meeting is going to be November 1st, 6 o'clock here at the Community Center, and it's going to be with Parks and Rec and the airport, because Scott's going to be on vacation that week. I completely forgot, so I just switched them around.
That's fine.
And we'll go over AMP budget as well. Most of you know that Chief Robitel has given his notice, and he will be moving back to California. Just wanted to, he couldn't be here tonight, but I wanted to thank him for his service to the city. And he brought a lot of new things to the table, and he will be missed. This next week will be his last week with us, so if you see him, tell him good luck on his next adventure. That's all I have.
Well, do you want to talk about your After Dark in the Park or anything like that?
Oh, After Dark in the Park will be November 29th with the
October 29th,
What'd I say?
November.
Oh, yeah, that's late. October 29th, and it'll be zombie parade and trunk or treat at the park with free hot dogs, costume contest, and it's our 7th year?
I think
Our
so.
7th year. Yeah. I know. And then Christmas open house will be November 5th and 6th. The Christmas parade will be the first weekend, the first Saturday in December. That cover everything?
We most definitely need more people to host
The what?
trunks.
The
Senior fraud.
Yes, I put that in my video today. There will be a seminar on fraud and senior, like fraud for the seniors. It's going to be at the Senior Center on, it's November 1st too, isn't it?
I think so. I think so.
I think so, at 10 o'clock. I just shot it in my video. I should remember that. Somebody from the AG's office and Homeland, I want to say Homeland, I think that's right, Homeland Security will be there to give the speech, and it's free, if anybody's interested.
And we do need more businesses and sponsors to sponsor trunks during the trick or treat, the After Dark in the Park event. So if you are interested as an individual or know a business that wants to participate or a church, you're welcome. You can call the mayor's office.
Yeah, be great. Okay, anybody got anything else?
Maybe we adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
okay.